Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Safari Mack Returns to Africa. I'm Safari Mack, your guide and host, helping you make connections to the wild. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are still continuing our exploration of the seemingly endless habitat of Africa's rainforest here in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where today, for this episode, we're looking into a world-famous, but probably not as well understood creature that seems to symbolize the tropical regions. The chameleon. You know, there are many things we could start. I mean, we probably know chameleons from pets, but we're going to try and stay away from the pet and focus on them in the wild as a whole. But before we begin, if you're new to my channel, hit that like and subscribe button, check out my Facebook page for content on conservation, and if you have a question about animals or an animal request in the future, you just have to send me an email, which you will always find the link to down in the description below. Let's get to it. You know, their evolution is fairly interesting. So their family, which is pronounced Chameleonidae, actually belongs to a clade or a family group called Acrodonta, which was said to have diverged from other lizards well over 100 million years ago during the Mesozoic era, or what we might know as the age of the reptiles or the time of the dinosaurs. So, believe it or not, so their closest living cousins today are what are a kind of lizard called agamas, or the agamid lizards. However, this is kind of an artist's depiction of what the earliest chameleons may have looked like well in the beginning when they first appeared on Earth. As you can see, they were kind of arboreal foragers, meaning they were creatures that hung out at the tops of the trees, and they were constantly looking for food all throughout the major supercontinent of Gondwanaland. Now, it's said that this creature was thought to have appeared roughly around 60 million years ago, and was thought that its fossils were found somewhere within China. So, it's pretty interesting, huh? A creature like this having maybe a little bit of a broader expansion, a broader start in life, wouldn't you say? Now, we probably think of chameleons as one kind, but there are hundreds of them, and it's not just limited to Africa, but believe it or not, you can also find them, of course, more prominently, especially in the African island nation of Madagascar, as well as parts of the Middle East, even in the subcontinent of India. I honestly didn't know that myself. I honestly had always thought that they were kind of like a South American animal. But hey, see, even all of us can learn a little something new every day when we put our effort into it. So, whether they're found in Africa, a little bit of Europe, as well as the Middle East and Asia, their habitat basically varies. They're very adaptable creatures, able to thrive in mountain forest regions, dry savannas, and of course the jungle regions where we are hanging out today. But they've also been found in deserts. Can you believe that? A chameleon that can thrive in the desert. That really is a symbol of fascination to me. Now, chameleons are not very social animals. They do not really seem to tolerate one another at all. As you can see, this kind of chameleon, commonly known as a Jackson's chameleon, these two males are fighting for territory so that they can protect chance of breeding females, food, and space. Because they really just don't seem to like one another. And so it's not just fighting and pushing and shoving that they'll do. They'll also use different colorings as a form of intimidation too. But now, let's never mind that part right now. Outside of breeding, they will not mingle with one another. But when it comes to breeding, they will come together. And the thing is, it turns out there's really no set breeding period for when chameleons will breed. And despite this picture here of a baby chameleon, not all chameleons are known to lay eggs. there are actually a few species that are known to actually give live birth. So, once again, another interesting concept, huh? Here we once thought that mammals were the only creatures that would give birth to live young. You know, a little fun fact, there's an ancient fossil of an ornithomimid, a dinosaur that ran on two legs and looked a little bit like an ostrich, that is hypothesized to give birth to live young. So maybe it's just kind of like maybe a bit of an ancient relic of the past. But generally, females, depending on the species, they'll have a pregnancy from anywhere from a month to 45 days. But like I said, the exact duration, it really varies between species. As we know, chameleons are highly active insectivores, and they need a huge variety of insects, from grasshoppers, crickets, locusts, beetles, caterpillars, you name it. And of course, they are world famous for that long, super sticky tongue, which, by the way, that can shoot out nearly 1.5 to 2 times the length of a chameleon's own body. So this is what they do. Hunting. First, they stay still. If there's one thing about reptiles, they are excellent at being patient. They will wait and wait for food to come to them. And then, when the moment is just right, starts to open up, get that tongue ready, and then, I gotcha! But did you know it's not just insects that they'll eat? Some chameleons are actually known to eat lizards, birds, yes, that's right, birds, and other small lizards and geckos. They even go after hatchlings. But that's not to say that there aren't some that will eat a little bit of vegetation as well. So it seems off, but yes, chameleons also will eat a little bit of vegetation as to supplement their diet. But be sure to keep your eyes open when you see a chameleon feeding, because it really does happen within the blink of an eye. Now, believe it or not, in Manglassi and African folklore, the chameleon is seen as two things: the bringers of death and a symbol of immortality. In some African cultures, it was believed, there's an ancient tale that says that the creator had sent a chameleon to tell people that humans were going to be able to live forever. But because they were slow, a lizard instead beat the chameleon and told the humans that humans were doomed to die and not live forever. And so unfortunately, chameleons have been sometimes seen as omens of bad luck. So, unfortunately, but that's just how culture goes. Now, chameleons have these eyes are able to help them see up to 360 degrees. Can you believe that? I didn't think that they would, I knew they would be able to move their eyes around, but having a full range vision, that's pretty great, especially when acting as a predator or keeping safe while they are prey. So, the chameleons basically, we know that them to change colors, right? But they do that mostly for body temperature, breeding, even to tell whether they're feeling relaxed or happy. And thanks to that great hand, that's what helps them grip onto vegetation and twigs, even hundreds of feet up in the air. Well, unfortunately, right now, there really isn't a whole lot to tell about chameleons as a whole, whether they're endangered or not, but there are some species that are more endangered than others due to the pet trade, which can result from live chameleons being snatched from the wild to, unfortunately, deforestation, especially the island nation of Madagascar, where a great percentage of rainforest habitat has been destroyed to make way for Madagascar's growing human population. But we can take action. We can always say no to the exotic pet trade, and we can help people understand that these animals are a little bit more difficult to care for than you might think, and that we should enjoy them more from nature's point of view. Join me next week as we look into the lives of the African gray parrot. But until then, I'll see you all out there.